Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about how power steering affects vehicle handling. For those of you who don't know, power steering is a system that makes it easier to turn the steering wheel. This can be especially helpful when you're driving at low speeds, or when you're trying to park. In this video, I'm going to explain how power steering works and how it affects the way your car handles. I'll also talk about the different types of power steering systems and the pros and cons of each. So, if you're interested in learning more about power steering, be sure to check out this video. Power steering is a system that makes it easier to turn the steering wheel of a vehicle. It uses a hydraulic or electric motor to assist the driver in turning the wheels, reducing the amount of effort required. While this makes driving more comfortable, it also affects how the vehicle handles. The most obvious effect of power steering is the reduced effort required to turn the steering wheel. This is especially noticeable at low speeds, such as when parking or maneuvering in tight spaces. It also makes long drives more comfortable, as the driver doesn't have to exert as much force to maintain control. However, power steering also reduces road feel, which is the feedback that the driver receives through the steering wheel about the road surface and the vehicle's response. This can make it more difficult to judge the vehicle's grip and handling limits, especially in challenging driving conditions. Power steering systems can also have different steering ratios. This refers to the number of turns of the steering wheel required to turn the wheels from lock to lock. A higher ratio means that the steering wheel needs to be turned fewer times, while a lower ratio requires more turns. The steering ratio affects the responsiveness of the steering and can impact handling. There are two main types of power steering: hydraulic and electric. Hydraulic power steering uses a hydraulic pump to generate pressure that assists in turning the wheels. Electric power steering uses an electric motor to provide assistance. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages, which can affect handling. The effect of power steering on handling can vary depending on the driving situation. For example, at low speeds, the reduced effort can be beneficial for maneuvering. However, at high speeds, the reduced road feel can make it more difficult to maintain control. It's important for drivers to be aware of how power steering affects handling and adjust their driving accordingly. Power steering is a valuable tool that makes driving easier and more comfortable. However, it's important to understand how it affects vehicle handling and to adjust your driving accordingly. By being aware of the pros and cons of power steering, you can ensure that you're always in control of your vehicle. Power steering is a system that assists drivers in turning the steering wheel by reducing the amount of effort required. This system makes driving easier and more comfortable, especially at low speeds or when parking. Power steering systems can be either hydraulic or electric. Hydraulic systems use a pump to circulate fluid, which provides assistance to the steering. Electric systems use an electric motor to provide assistance. Power steering can affect vehicle handling in several ways. 1. Reduced effort. Power steering reduces the effort required to turn the steering wheel, making it easier to maneuver the vehicle. This is especially beneficial at low speeds or when parking. 2. Improved feedback. Some power steering systems provide improved feedback to the driver, allowing them to feel the road better. This can help drivers to make more precise steering inputs. 3. Increased maneuverability. Power steering can make vehicles more maneuverable, especially in tight spaces. This is because the driver does not have to exert as much effort to turn the steering wheel. 4. Reduced fatigue. Power steering can reduce driver fatigue, especially on long drives. This is because the driver does not have to exert as much effort to steer the vehicle. 5. Potential drawbacks. While power steering offers many benefits, there are also some potential drawbacks. For example, power steering systems can sometimes make it more difficult to feel the road, which can lead to oversteering or understeering. Additionally, power steering systems can add weight to the vehicle, which can reduce fuel efficiency. 6. Considerations for different driving situations. The effect of power steering on handling can vary depending on the driving situation. For example, at low speeds, power steering can make it easier to maneuver the vehicle. However, at high speeds, power steering can make the vehicle feel less stable. 7. Maintenance and repair. Power steering systems require regular maintenance to ensure they are functioning properly. This includes checking the fluid level and replacing the fluid as needed. Additionally, power steering systems can be expensive to repair if they fail. 8. The future of power steering systems are constantly evolving. Newer systems are more efficient and provide better feedback to the driver. In the future, power steering systems are likely to become even more sophisticated and integrated with other vehicle systems. Power steering is a valuable system that can make driving easier and more comfortable. However, it is important to be aware of the potential drawbacks of power steering and to drive accordingly. By understanding how power steering affects handling, drivers can make informed decisions about how to operate their vehicles safely and effectively.